The racing genre has been a staple in video games since the days of the arcades. Pop in a quarter and you were off to the races with a friend. After that, many racing games were added to the Atari 2600 and the Nintendo Entertainment System, and the genre still continues on strong with simulation racers and arcade-style racers like Mario Kart to this day. One of the first racing games added to the NES catalog was among the Black Box collection from Nintendo titled Excitebike. This is a motocross-style racer with jumps, ramps, and obstacles to dodge while racing. So today, I'd like to shine the spotlight on an original racer on home consoles and a somewhat underappreciated franchise from Nintendo, Excitebike. So thank you for checking out the video. I post game spotlights each week in which I delve into the history, gameplay, design, music, and more of these classic retro video games, and answer the question, what made these games great? Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The original Excitebike released on the NES in 1984 in Japan and 1985 in the US to coincide with the release of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Like many games at the time, Excitebike had origins in the arcade arena and used simplicity to its benefit. Developer and producer Shigeru Miyamoto tried to apply this element to most of his games, ranging from Mario to Excitebike. Upon starting the game, you're greeted by the Excitebike jingle and a few options on how to play. Selection A, Selection B, and Design on a bright blue background. Selection A gives you 5 programmed races to play solo without any other computer players to get in the way. Selection 2 gives you the same tracks but with other racers added, each with the added difficulty of having to dodge the other bikers. The final option is Design, which gives the player the option to craft their own Excitebike track and race on it. The main goal of the game is to race on each track and try to beat a time target set by the developers. Racers drive left to right with 4 lanes on a dirt track with a cheering crowd in the background. The game really took advantage of the NES's ability to scroll from left to right, something other consoles could not do as smoothly at the time due to limitations of the hardware. The player uses the A button to accelerate and the B button for a faster acceleration option. Using the B button to move your bike will cause you to overheat though, and if not monitored could potentially ruin an otherwise perfect race. As you move down the track, everything from barriers and ramps will appear, and the player must dodge the oncoming obstacles by moving up and down using the D-pad. Left and right on the D-pad, however, allows the player to change the horizontal plane or position of the bike, meaning you can balance your bike to perform a wheelie over a barrier or pull your bike back right at the base of a ramp to get increased air during a jump. If you don't land your bike down level though, you have the chance of crashing, which eats time from the clock. Excitebike is a game that is all about precision. Timing the movements on your bike and jumping between the 4 lanes is crucial to success and getting the best time possible. One of my personal favorite aspects of Excitebike is that unlike other racers where you see a blank car or a vehicle with no one in it, this game actually provides that personal touch of showing the person on the bike and gives you that feeling and closer connection to the racer than other games would have at the time. A couple other things appear on the track when racing as well: dirt patches and speed arrows. Dirt patches will slow your bike down, so those need to be avoided at all costs. The speed arrows, on the other hand, will decrease your heat meter back to normal levels, allowing you to utilize the B button and that faster acceleration to make the best time. If you accomplish a good time on each of the 5 races, you move on to the Excitebike Championship race and compete to win the final time race. In design mode, you're able to make your own track for yourself or a friend to race on. You have everything that is available in the main game and have the opportunity to edit the track row by row. I absolutely love this part of the game. Being able to set up ramps in a row is just a complete joy, and setting up cool obstacles and perfectly timed jumps for your friends is a joy all on its own. I would say though, your mileage on this mode may vary, but in the right hands this would be the primary part of the game and could be fun for hours. Having the ability to edit the track is a complete Nintendo thing to add into a game, and Excitebike truly is all the better for it. The box, which was a black box series, even features the term programmable rather than racing series, indicating that Nintendo always had the intention of making this a player-generated racing experience. The arcade version of Excitebike was released around the same time as the NES game and was titled Versus Excitebike. Essentially, this is the same game, but with the added functionality of two-player simultaneous racing. This is a great experience that should have been in the original game on the NES. However, they accomplished this by splitting the screen and allowing you to race a friend in real time, making the entire game feel like a much more complete experience. Thankfully, Nintendo decided to include this version of the game on the NES online service for the Nintendo Switch, giving Western audiences a chance to try out this classic game. While Excitebike may not be as famous as Zelda or Mario among Nintendo's great catalog of games, it did find some sequels on Nintendo's following systems, the first of which was Excitebike 64 on the Nintendo 64. This changed the series to 3D, placing the perspective of the player behind the racer as opposed to the side. After this, there were other releases on the Nintendo Wii as well, titled Excitebots and Excitruck, featuring a high-energy, exhilarating experience of a racing game. After this, a true successor was released to the original Excitebike as a Nintendo WiiWare game, download-only title, named Excitebike World Rally. This played exactly like the original game with updated visuals, graphics, and music. Even the track editor appeared, allowing a whole new generation to experience what made Excitebike special all the way back in 1985. In addition to the sequels, the legacy of Excitebike is featured in modern games as well, such as Mario Kart 8. In a bonus racing track, it has the classic Excitebike music remixed for the Nintendo Switch and featured all the speed pads, ramps, crazy aerial jumps you would expect from the Excitebike series. This is an awesome tribute to the classic game and truly feels like you're racing a 3D Excitebike track. If Nintendo were to release a new Excitebike game, I would hope they would have somewhat of the speed and thrilling gameplay elements found in the Mario Kart track, but also add in some of those customization elements that made the series so fondly remembered. Excitebike has a long history with Nintendo from the NES to the Switch, and I think it is one of their most interesting games on the original console. Very few games at the time gave the player the ability to edit the tracks and make much of anything in their games. However, Nintendo was always the company to add in a creative touch to their games, and it is the aspect of Excitebike that still holds up today. If possible, give Excitebike a try. It holds up far better than most give it credit for, and it is still a fun game to play today. Excitebike can be found on the NES online service, as well as the two-player racing game Versus Excitebike. See you on the track. Thank you for watching the video. Which Excitebike game have you played? Which racing game should I cover next? Let me know in the comments below. I post these retro game spotlights every Sunday, so remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more retro gaming content, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.